Woo! We're wide open here. I hope it doesn't rain. We're actually at a property that we recently won at foreclosure auction. Now, this one we've already closed on. I'll go over a little bit more details of kind of right after you win, what are the next steps before you actually take title, and kind of give you a better outlay of what to expect. Now, this is typically for Mass and Connecticut. It might be a little different in your state, so make sure you understand. Check in with your lawyer and their rules in that state. But this will kind of give you a good idea. Take out paper and pen because you're going to want to jot some of this stuff down just so after you just did win, you make sure you take these steps. We bought hundreds of properties at foreclosure auction. We made a lot of mistakes over the years, but we kind of try to teach you from those mistakes so you don't make the same ones. So let's get right to it. So Naya will stay in the car because we're on a very busy road out here on the property we recently won, and I do not want her getting in an accident. We got some contractors on this site, so let's go check this out. It's a little cold out today, not too bad though. And we just got a bunch of roofing ready and some siding, getting ready to work on this beauty right in front of me right now. So let's kind of recap. So typically in Massachusetts and in Connecticut, you're having the property right at the front of the property, or the auction, sorry. We're having the auction right at the front of the property, and you show up. I recommend kind of getting here maybe an hour ahead of time, and you're getting ready to bid, walk around the property. We're getting ready to do some crazy stuff over here. We're fully dormer in the back because as you'll see when we go up there, it's pretty rough upside, there and tight. So we want to kind of add a little bit more to add the value to similar houses in the area so that we can get maximum value. So you got to the property early. You're kind of walking around, your due diligence, all this stuff. You have your maximal bid. Your bid price, the bank comes in below that, no other competition, or maybe you outbeat someone, and so you won the property. Now, congratulations, that's awesome. First step to getting your first real estate deal, that's fantastic. If you did do that, and if you've won one recently, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Maybe give everyone the kind of details, what you won it for. Is it a multifamily, single family? What are your goals? What are you going to do with that property that you won? Are you going to flip it? Are you going to wholesale it? Are you going to possibly be a rental? Let me know. I'd love to hear comments below. Kevin and I were definitely kind of curious what people are doing these days with their property and what they're finding. And also nice to know where you bought it because I'm curious to see if that's another market we want to jump into. All right, so what's next after you won at the auction? So the first thing I want to let everyone know is the first thing to do once you win the bid, what we do, the first step we do, and I'd recommend it to you as well, is we then send that paperwork over to our lawyer, and so they can kind of get ready and start doing their end and start reaching out to the lawyer for the bank, set up the closing. In Mass, typically it's 30 days. Connecticut's 30 to 60 days. Other states are going to be very different, so please check in with your lawyers and what's going on in your state. The next very thing is on the same email that we send the paperwork to our lawyer, we CC our insurance company. Why do we do that? This is a really important thing. We do that because you have an insurable interest in this house. And if there's something that happens with that house, in the meantime, the paperwork that you're signing with the bank at the foreclosure auction, you're buying it as is, where is. That means if this sucker burns down before you actually close on it, that's what you're buying. So I find it very, very, very important to have insurance so that we're protected if something does happen in the interim of while we're waiting. So I recommend talking to your insurance broker and seeing what they recommend, but that's what we do. That's our process and procedure that we have every single time. On top of that, we are getting ready for for instance, if we need to do something like snow removal, get that set up. We're getting that ready right then. We're contacting contractors in the area or the vendors that we work with. We're getting ready if it's occupied, maybe trying to get some contact information so that we can schedule that out. If we have, these are all the kind of steps we take right away. So this is almost immediately after the foreclosure auction or a few hours after the foreclosure auction. That's what we are doing so that we're ready to hit the ground running once we close on it. Other than that, it's it's usually in the hands of the lawyer. They're them doing what they need to do. Let's go check this stuff up here. We got a nice new skylight in this thing. Holy moly. Woo. All right. We're wide open here. I hope it doesn't rain. Ugh. Where are the guys? They're not here right now. I hope they're all just on lunch because their cars are here. So I'm guessing they just went for a quick lunch because we definitely want to get this closed up We are supposed to have some rain potentially this weekend, so that would not be good. But yeah, we're going to dormer this off because this was really tight, even for a short guy like me. It was tight, so we'll be able to add more space. And my goal here too, real quick, is this space right here. When it's fully dormered, we'll take down the chimney that's in here. We're going to add a half bath right there, so you have that upstairs. And then we'll get to this room. We'll do the same thing. Open this wall behind me, add a couple windows, have much more functional bedrooms. And this chimney looking end is going to come down anyway. We're redoing the roof, so it just makes sense. Yeah, so so after you're just kind of waiting for your lawyer to kind of close on the deal, and that's really kind of the next steps that happen after the foreclosure. Really, not much you can do. At least in our states, that's what we found. There's not really a lot more to do other than kind of just wait until your lawyer makes sure there's clean title and everything's kind of good to go. Your insurance is bound, we set up anything ready for a lock change. Now, what I have done in the past, now be careful, but I definitely recommend if the property is unsecure, I have secured the property, or I've actually asked the lawyer to ask the other side if we can have permission to secure the property if we found it unsecured. This way, we're protecting our asset and protecting theirs, because technically it's still theirs. And so that we have done, and usually we get permission. Why wouldn't they let us, right? Once you actually close on the property, so now you got clear title, you've funded or wired over the money to the lawyer, and you've got insurance, everything's good there. You're getting ready to close on the property, or you're closing the next day. Setting up utilities, I think that's really important. And we do sometimes call the utility company ahead of time, because sometimes in our state, if it's been off for over 6 months or a year, depending on which utility and which one's supplying it, there could be the fact that you need a wiring inspection or a pressure test. So that we can get that set up with either the plumber or the electrician ahead of time, so that we can hit the ground running like we're here. We want to get things cranking so that we can, especially in the dead of winter, like right now, we don't want to have that roof off. We want to have power so we can use our tools, and hopefully we can get it on the market as soon as possible. That's kind of what goes on after we win a foreclosure in Mass and Connecticut. I'd love to hear more about what goes on in your guys' state. Maybe it's a little different. I appreciate you guys joining us on this video. Hope it was educational, and I'll see you guys on the next one.